I'll be at the Charger game because I'm a glutton for fucking punishment.
All right. It's the Rackham Football Podcast. I'm your host, Chad Zumach. With me.
We changed the name?
Changed the name. We're going rogue. We're going off the grid. We don't want no affiliation with Kevin. And
Who?
Exactly. We got my co-host, Ken Mosca. Ken, how are you?
Good to see you guys.
Tony Mazer in the house from the Check Your Brain podcast. How you doing, Tony?
I'm doing well. I wish I could smoke inside though, unfortunately.
And
I do have my in hot water ashtray though.
So do we.
Look at that, mother. Look at that. Oh yeah.
There we go.
Three very important guests.
Is there a shadow on my face right now, or is that on my phone?
I don't know. It's on your face. But
okay,
let me
good.
get through the fucking intro, so Geno.
Okay, got it. I got it. Okay.
From the almost nowhere defunct podcast, Gladwell Abe. Gladwell, how are you?
I'm doing good. How about you, Chad?
I'm great. Great seeing you. And special guest, not only do we have Geno Bisconte from In Hot Water, but his brother Pete.
Oh my God.
The man Bob Levy calls the funny Bisconte.
The better golfing Bisconte. And I'm
much better golfing Bisconte. He was so happy when I walked in today and had my voice back, right, big brother? Right, Pete. Pete, just talk. Pete.
Nothing better.
Pete.
Nothing.
Yeah, Pete.
Nothing better.
Pete. Pete. Pete.
Oh my God.
Pete's the most requested guest on the show, so thank you for coming, Pete.
He is. We used to do a thing called Hot Mic, which was fun, but it's exhausting. Where you get to call the game. Like it was last year, and it was an app. It still exists where you turn down the football game and you log into whatever the app is and you listen to your friends call the game. Pete was very highly requested. He gets very MAD angry.
We did the Seahawks game where they got beat by the 49ers.
We did a lot of games with the Seahawks.
I think we did the Eagles-Seahawks. We might have done the Eagles-Seahawks playoff game.
We did indeed.
We didn't drink for that one because I got sick after the other one.
But we're going to have a couple drinks now for my birthday, right, Pete?
Oh,
right, Pete?
Sure.
Pete.
Okay.
Pete.
Funny.
Pete.
I really don't think
Pete.
you want to hear you repeat the same word.
Pete.
Yeah. People are shutting off the podcast.
What are we doing?
All right, I'm ready.
Okay, Abbott and Costello. Let's just get this out of the way. You had your big rose. Happy birthday, by the way. How'd it go? What were the stories? Who did well? Who did poorly?
You ready for this? Everyone did great, but it was a stacked show. It was like it wasn't a huge dais. We'll get to Brennan, but it was Kevin Dabrowski, the roast master, Cunha, Levy, my friend Allie Breen, Crazy Alex Engelbert didn't show up, so no one was hurt. Kevin Dabrowski, I said Kevin, right? Aaron Berg, Jesus Christ. And Kevin Brennan didn't show up, but he sent his jokes in, and Jim Stansel read them, and oh my God, fucking it was so stupid funny, you know?
Yeah, we're huge fans over here of him. He's a fucking great guy. Just very, very honest, very honest, very honest.
He's losing his mind on the podcast. Gladwell, you experienced it firsthand this week. Am I correct?
Firsthand. And now I'm catching it secondhand off of Twitter.
Yeah, well, it's funny. I like his new brand of just lie, not exaggerate, lie. Straight up.
What did he lie about?
Oh, okay. I got a laundry list. I mean, he said,
Ken,
what's that little whiskey, right, Pete?
Ken, you go first.
Whiskey? What's that?
Can I go first? If Geno's going to pay attention, can I go first?
I'm paying
if he's going to pay attention.
What happened?
Oh my God. He was ADD before it was cool.
Yeah. Yeah, you were GAY before it was acceptable. Nothing? Come on. Thanks, Gladwell. All right, so go on. We're listening.
No, so Geno, seriously, the lies are terrible, and he's all upset because I'm still doing this football show that he told me to keep doing. So I have text messages from him right here. I hope you're still going to the roast. I have a bunch of jokes about how you cheat on your wife. I know you and your wife think they're funny, but I'm hoping they play well in the public setting that's being live streamed. I don't respond to him anymore. He put that, he texted that to me, Geno. He put it out on Twitter. He said it out on MLC. This was started on Christmas, right? All these started on Christmas, and he was angry because when I was responding, we were laughing. We had 16 family members at the table. I read every single one of these that he was sending to me, and they were all laughing. So when I got to the cheating one, my wife is laughing. She says, "Oh God, I hope you have a girlfriend in Florida. That means you'll leave me alone," because he said every time I go to Florida, I go and cheat on my wife. That's what Kevin Brennan says. So look, he says, have your wife call me. Have your wife call me. My wife's not going to call him. My wife doesn't want to talk to him. But there's just so many lies. And then he puts out there about, I went to a lousy college and a lousy degree. Well, I went to a pretty good college. It's well recognized, but what bothers me is which degree is he talking about that's no good? Guys, I have two of them. So I just don't know which degree he's talking about that's no good, but I do have two of them.
There were no jokes about you cheating on your wife, but it's so funny because I thought the same thing. Your wife is great. She'd be like, oh, that's awesome. At least he's getting laid. But
now,
that's insane.
The thing is, Geno, you know, my wife loves you. My wife wanted to go to the roast last night. She didn't. I don't think you saw me, Geno. I was down the block with my cousin, just waiting to have a conversation with my friend, Kevin Brennan. I did not go inside, Geno. I wasn't in the mood for jokes. So you came to New York last night and didn't come to my show?
He was gonna.
I bought two tickets.
He was gonna have a conversation with Kevin, and it wasn't gonna go well.
Yeah, Kevin never showed up.
Maybe
that's why he
probably
didn't show
why.
up.
Honest to God,
Why are you yelling?
that's my inside voice. Remember when I was sick last week? Hi.
Yeah.
Ken, I didn't know what was the worst accusation, that you were cheating on your wife or that you were Jewish.
Hold on, I got to slide this so you can see. Hold on. Good one, Tony.
Well,
this guy gets it.
I did grow up in a heavy Jewish area, Tony. However, I'm Catholic. I have no problem with the Jewish people. I have a lot of friends that are Jewish. But again, look, Kevin is grasping. When it comes to me, he's just grasping at anything. He's just telling lie after lie after lie.
Ken, stay on brand. He's throwing Hail Marys. Go ahead.
Yeah, he is throwing Hail Marys, and
they're more like Fail Marys. Am I right, Seattle fan?
Oh, that's a good one. I gotta write that one down. No, Fail Marys.
And not right, please.
He just tweeted at me under Burning Brennan. I didn't even know that existed. I had no idea I was even following it. He just tweeted saying,
"Are you sure him and not a bootleg?"
I'm off Twitter for 10 hours because of Ken Mosca. What a meanie. This guy.
Another lie.
It's you know what? It's sad. I'm laughing. It's sad. The whole thing is sad. His lies are sad, Geno and Peter and everyone else, to say those things. Look, I said this to Chad, I don't, what Landau said was not right. I know Chad and Chad can speak for himself.
I actually stand by that joke now. If you listen to my podcast, it was very clever. It was very good.
and I said, listen, it's got nothing to do with me. You're the one, when I did talk to him 2 weeks ago, right before this podcast, I said, you're the one who told me to be on the podcast. The conversation did not go well for him. He threatened me on that call. Look, Kevin Brennan doesn't scare me one bit, because obviously he knew I was going to show up last night. I was not going to bring my wife, because my wife would not be able to stop me if things escalated. My cousin, on the other hand, who's, I'm 6'2", he's a little bigger than I am. If things got out of hand, he'd be able to stop me if he wanted to. But Kevin didn't show. And my cousin and I, we laughed our asses off because we knew he wouldn't show. Geno, I knew you didn't see me. I yelled to you from down the block and waved. I wasn't going to get in the middle of things.
Why didn't you text me, buddy? Sorry to interrupt. Why didn't you text me?
Look, it's I meant to text you a happy birthday yesterday, and I felt bad I didn't. It was your night. I wasn't going to involve you. I saw Berg walking in. And by the way, he introduced himself to me, not Berg, but I use his real name, and it's okay. David Dombrowski. I saw him walking in, but I didn't talk to him. I was down the block a bit, just waiting for Kevin. And my cousin was right. My cousin, by the way, he's a couple years older than me. He's a retired, Geno, he's a retired longshoreman. So, but it wasn't good. It was
easy going.
Yeah, exactly. So, yeah, it was your night, it was your birthday. Like I said, I felt bad. I didn't send you a text wishing you happy birthday. I told you before, my wife loves you. She wants to see you on March 5th. The problem is Kevin's going to be there March 5th. Yeah. My cousin's probably going to be there March 5th. And again,
tell you what, if it's warm, maybe we go golfing beforehand.
Come on down. You got to bring Nick with you. That, big bro.
Hey guys, I don't want to interrupt here, but Tony, can you shut the fuck up?
Tony nailed that last joke. He's waiting for it. Tony went out. Tony did the Costanza. He crushed one. Now he's waiting for the next one.
Sorry, I was busy watching a movie. I was watching one of my favorite characters in a film.
That is bad. Kevin Brennan just texted me. Maybe tomorrow. Okay, forget it. I might do is like, dude, that was a funny. You're not gonna believe this, Tony. I was really drunk in that one.
It was real beer.
Hey, by the way, Chad, Tony, you know what I gave Pete for Christmas? One of the shirts I gave him.
Which one?
The funny stop.
Nice.
Very nice. Yeah. Kate Quigley got one of those, but I think she sold it for.
Oh my God.
What do you think?
I missed what he said. I'm okay.
Is that colored waitress still there? The one that got me banned?
I don't know. She might be. I haven't seen her in a while. We have more colored waitresses now there.
I don't need her monkeying around with my career. Let me explain that, Pete. Let me explain.
I got it.
What they did was they got brave enough to come out of the trees, and then what? Hi.
By the way, Kate Quigley says hi, Geno.
Who said hi?
Kate Quigley.
Katie Quigley. By the way, him and his wife, the one that loved the baboon joke. Whenever Bob Boone came up, what did Dad call him, Pete?
Baboon.
Never not funny. Never not funny.
Geno, Kate Quigley really did say hi. She was just at the Funny Stop working with Tony.
She did not say hi to me.
She did.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah, she's like, how do you know Geno? And I told her a little bit, but I didn't get into a lot of the other details that I know about her life.
Well, that's fantastic. You know what? I think that calls for a drink, Pete.
Of course it does. Breathing. I think that calls for a drink, Pete.
If Kate Quigley didn't say shit, that would call for a drink.
Oh my God, how's she doing? Just a baby, little boo boo.
Oh my God.
Do you want to get into it?
No,
yeah, let's get going. Jen Don.
Or whatever it's called.
If I make you a toast, there's nobody I'd rather be spending my birthday with than you guys. It's fucking great. I really appreciate this. Let's do it.
Geno's birthday show, ladies and gentlemen. Week 17. We head into Sunday. We got the Atlanta Falcons going up against the disappointing Buffalo Bills in Buffalo. Right now, the line is -14. You got that, Ken?
14 and a half. I just took it at 14 and a half 5 minutes ago.
Wow. Okay, there it is. 14 and a half. So
we'll let Geno and Peter kick this one off.
Watch this, Pete. I love the Bills 14 and a half. They beat bad teams. The Falcons beat bad teams. The Bills beat anyone they should. I love the Bills here 14 and a half. Talk me out of it.
I just think the half's too much. I think they can beat them by 14.
Pete used to use that line in college. You're going to find this half is actually too much. Let me explain the joke. He's got a tiny dick. So what he would do is he'd upsell the half inch.
I just think the half's too much.
He ignores me. That's how long he just ignores me.
I've been dealing with this for 50 years.
So you think the hook's going to be a problem?
I do.
To quote my
favorite porno.
To quote my favorite porno,
yeah.
My favorite actress in a pirate porno. That's a big hook, Captain.
I mean, and the Bills aren't scoring crazy either.
Crazily.
And why wouldn't they shut it down in the fourth quarter if they're up 10 and bring in all the backups? Why would you keep trying and score?
Not convinced. My birthday. Great point, but we're going Buffalo.
Okay.
But Pete, I get what you're saying. Because the Falcons,
maybe the Bills score on a turnover late with the Falcons trying and scoring garbage.
The Bills need to win the division. The Bills need to fucking pour it on and fucking let.
It ain't college. You don't get points for pouring it on.
They need to win that division.
Yeah, so they'll beat the team. They're up 10 with 8 minutes left. They just
I smell
hand the ball off.
Excuse me, gentlemen. I smell a side bet here.
I don't.
I like how there's two shows going on right now.
There's a million more games. I'm not going to go to side bet. on a 14.5-point spread.
All right, you know what? Give this one to Pete.
No, it's your birthday. I defer to your genius.
I'll take we want the Bills 14. Where's Naked Ken? You're killing Ken.
Where's the naked picture?
That's my video.
Okay.
That's my brand.
Okay.
You're killing my buddy Ken.
I'm sorry, Ken.
Christ.
Ken, who do you got?
I'm doing the same. I'm laying the points. Buffalo needs to get a higher seed. They're trying to get a higher seed. I'm taking Buffalo.
Tony Mazer.
I'm going Atlanta because Atlanta's got a good running back with that Cordarrelle Patterson. I really like him. That 14.5 is scaring me. So I'm going to go. I don't think the Falcons will win that game, but I'm scared of that 14.5 right now.
And if I can jump in real fast on the Cordarrelle Patterson thing, and I mean this because we talk a lot of shit, but NFL fans, we always root for you. That's a guy that suddenly found a home and a place in Atlanta. And I'll tell you, like he went to Tennessee and he never found a home. They couldn't. But what he's doing in Atlanta, you look at him and you feel, I'm genuinely thrilled for the kid. It's like they found a way to use you. And that's like, we talk shit about players, but in the end, we're always rooting for him. And I'm so happy for that kid.
Yeah, it was never his fault. He couldn't survive.
No, it wasn't.
Minnesota. He tried. He played where they played him.
Yeah, but they found a way to use him. Like, but if he never winds up in Atlanta, you're like, what a bust he was. And he wasn't. That's all.
Gladwell Ape, you like to analyze everyone's picks. What do you got? You always have great inside info.
Pete had me with the half is too much. So he had me with that. It solidified.
Apparently, I got a lot of people with that.
Let me explain to you. He banged a lot of bros. You're killing Ken. This guy's great. Let me explain it, Ken. He banged a lot of bros.
I don't think they need that.
Can I say something to you guys? You're welcome. You're welcome. All right, I'm done. Back to Gladwell. I'm sorry.
Mosca solidified it. Tony fucked me up with his pick taking the Falcons, which made me want to take the Falcons. But I know if I take the Falcons, the Bills going to win 54-3. So I'm taking the Bills.
Jesus. Well,
It's going to be a blowout.
I like what Tony said. I think I'm gonna take the Falcons. They're gonna cover, but they're gonna lose. That brings us to another 1:00 game. We got Lenny Marcus's New York Giants versus the Chicago Bears in Soldiers Field. The Bears are getting -6. Ken, who do you got?
I'm taking Chicago, especially if Foles is quarterbacking again. But I'm taking Chicago. Giants stink. Those two quarterbacks they have are terrible. Chicago will win and cover. So I'm surprised it's not actually more points. I'm taking the Bears.
At Tony Mazer on Twitter.
Yes, indeed. I'm going to agree with Ken. Everything Ken said there. Nick Foles is always like that. He's always that Band-Aid for some teams, and he seems to be the guy who's going to try to save Matt Nagy's job in Chicago. So, yeah, I'm going to go with Chicago in this one.
The Bisconte brothers.
Well, I know Chicago's coming off a tough loss last week. I turned it off with like 4 minutes left. They were down 10. They lost to Seattle, your team, right, Pete?
10 years in one bad year in a decade.
Happy birthday to me.
One bad year in a decade. But I will say, I too would go with the Bears.
I like
here.
the Bears. I like the Bears.
And hopefully that loss by the Giants becomes one of Seattle's picks if they decide to make that trade.
The Giants are an abortion. And Pete, expand on this. You'd like to see them trade and get Danny Dimes from the Giants, right?
I wouldn't care.
He's like Seattle, like I am. He knows them inside and out. I'm sorry.
Right.
Guys.
I've seen every game of Russell Wilson's career. It's a different guy now. And if they aren't going to sign him in 2 years, they might as well get rid of him now. And I would take a trade with either of the New York teams.
I don't like Zach. I know nothing about him, but I'm not. I still think Danny Dimes has a future. So
I would take either of their quarterbacks and their two number ones for Wilson if that's what Seattle chooses to do, and they're set to go.
By the way,
Yeah,
you guys
don't
got
forget
I've definitely gone Bears.
Yeah.
Need the Giants to pick up a higher pick in the draft.
I agree with Mosca with the Foles thing too. I like the Bears with Foles.
By the way, you guys got better chemistry than the Scalar brothers.
I told you he did. I wanted to be. I said,
way to go, Chad. Way to go, Chad.
I said, how are these clowns on TV?
Mm-hmm.
How? And you're sitting there telling your filthy jokes. God.
Tell me not to say cunt, Pete. Tell me not to say cunt.
Although at the time I was working in public education, so I could not have done any of it. So
Gladwell Ape.
All right, well, nobody's deterred me. And I think as long as William Perry and Jim McMahon are okay and they're ready to go, I'm going to take the Bears too.
Let's do another 1 o'clock game. We got the Kansas City Chiefs in Cincinnati. It's the Chiefs given -5. I'll go first. I'm going to go Bengals. I think the Bengals they want to get in, and that's my pick. Tony Mazer.
I'm gonna go with Kansas City. Kansas City's just been on a roll right now. I know it's 5.5. It's 5.5, right, Ken?
Yeah, it's 5. It went from 4, opened at 4.5. It's 5 right now.
Okay, I'm still gonna go Kansas City on the road. They've just figured it out in the last few weeks, and they're just. I mean, as I always say, that they're always trying to do anything they can to help out Kansas City, and even with Cincinnati trying to make a playoff, it's going to be interesting because. If the Browns end up beating Pittsburgh and whatever happens with the Ravens, and if Cincinnati goes down, that division in the AFC North is wide open right now. But I'm going to go Kansas City in this one.
Gladwell Abe.
Well, Kansas City's getting -5.
Yes.
All right. I'm going to go with the Chiefs, too. They've been pretty good for me lately. So, and if it's good enough for Tony, it's good enough for me.
That's right.
I like that. Bisconte brothers coming to Hilarities, June 7th.
I too would go with Kansas City here, maybe for a little bit different reason. Cincinnati's got to show it to me before I believe it. And they seem to have spilled their buckets, so to speak, last week in that blowout win. So I don't see them. I have to see them play 2 games like that in a row before I pick them to beat a team that went to the Super Bowl the last 2 years. That's all.
And I agree with Tony said it perfectly. Like, the Chargers beat them early when they didn't have their shit together. The Chargers should have beat them 2 weeks ago, but the Chargers are poorly coached. They didn't realize they were good enough to win. But you said it perfectly. They figured it out. They took a totally new offensive line that was awful at the beginning of the year. When the Chargers beat them in the opening game, I'm like, I've never seen the Chargers get to and I like Patrick Mahomes. I think he's a good kid. Said I've never seen them get to him like this, but they figured it out, Tony. That's the perfect way, I think, to put it. And I like the Chiefs in this one too.
Ken, I think you're the last one.
No, I was the second one. I took Kansas City.
Oh, wow. Now we're cooking. Okay, we got a 1 o'clock game. We got Jim Florentine's Miami Dolphins. What a great win that game was. They're going down to Tennessee to take on the Titans. Tennessee's getting -3.5. I'm going to go last on this. Whoever wants to go first goes.
Look, I'll jump in. I'm taking Tennessee, another team there, and they're good. They're home. They're playing for playoff position too. Miami's won 7 in a row. The defense is playing well, but it's only 3.5. I think Tennessee will not only win, but they'll cover.
Tony,
Vrabel's not an idiot. They finally they saw a huge hiccup when they lost Travis Henry. That fucking
or Geno.
Yeah, when they lost Derrick Henry, and now they figured it out. Now I'm stealing fucking Tony's lines, but they he knows what he's doing, and he has the running game going. He's setting up Tannehill, and I really like the Titans in this beat.
Yeah, I go with the Titans too. Miami's another team. I don't know how many teams with a winning record they beat. They're on the road. Tennessee's game, and Tannehill
Short rest.
And I think Tannehill still wants to prove to the Dolphins that they made a mistake letting him go.
Hey, by the way, before we go on, me and Pete were talking about this. Was Ian Book started because guys who had COVID or they were injured?
I thought guys were injured.
Yeah, I assumed COVID. What was wrong? Simeon was hurt, and so was Trevor Taysom Hill. Do we know? Not that we care. I'm just figuring one of you guys know.
I don't know. I didn't follow that closely. It's
yeah, I thought the silence would let him know that we didn't know.
Okay, please go on. But yeah, we're on the who are we on? Pete? Tennessee. Can you spell Tennessee?
Titans.
Let's see what he did. He spelled the other thing.
Do that. Go ahead, Tony.
I think they should have been called the Tennessee Tuxedos, if you ask me.
Oh my God, that would be fantastic.
Tell him, watch this. Hey, Tony, tell him what you think they should call the Washington football team.
The Washington football team. Oh,
what?
Yes, the Washington R words.
I stole that and used it in my
that
video a couple of weeks ago. It's good stuff. All right.
Mr. Whoopi is the announcer for them. Yes, Mr. Whoopi. I'm going to go Tennessee as well because it's not so much Tennessee. It's I can't even fathom this Miami team having 8 wins this season. I can't even name more than like maybe 3 guys on the roster. They don't even seem like they're that good of a team, and yet they're 8-7 right now. I got to think they're going to come back to earth in this one. I think Tennessee is a little healthier than they've been the past couple of weeks. So I'll go Tennessee with the points here.
Gladwell.
Right. I'm gonna follow my man, who I have to say is a stand-up guy and a class act, Mr. Ken Mosca. I can say it today without being interrupted. This guy is a class act. He's gonna go with the Tennessee Titans minus 3.5. I'm taking the Tennessee Titans.
Chad's going to prison. Chad has a roommate. Chad doesn't pay rent. Lando's wife left him. Dave Lando's wife left him.
That's his Kevin Brennan impersonation. I think he left his wife for a skinnier woman. I think she has cancer too.
I don't think he left his wife in general. I think that's all bullshit. Anyways,
I think the word is abandoned.
Dolphins. I'm going with the Dolphins. Shout out Dave. Now that brings us to another 1:00 game. We got Sam Tripoli's Las Vegas Raiders taking on Megan Gailey's Indianapolis Colts. I don't know why I know that. Indianapolis Colts is getting minus 6.5. You got that, Ken?
Against two.
The Raiders.
Yep, 6.5, Chad. You got it.
All right, lead it off.
Okay, yeah, I'm gonna. That's such a Jekyll and Jekyll team. Again, Colts playing for positioning. I'm taking the Colts.
It's a
laying those
Jekyll and
6.5.
Hyde team. Heckle and Jekyll are cartoon crows.
I know, and
we're
they're
look-
opposites. They're
we're
opposites.
We're looking at Heckle and Jekyll right now, sitting in the same shot.
I'll be Heckle.
That's a
I
zinger.
like Tennessee Tuxedo and Chumley.
Hey, Peter, send Nick down to play some golf, will you?
Are we making a pick?
What's that? I thought, did he do ours? Wait, we want the Colts.
Yeah, I think that South Jersey's own Taylor runs all over the Raiders. They just keep handing it to him, especially if Wentz doesn't come off the COVID list.
They reached out to Phillip Rivers. Did
Right.
you hear that?
Yeah, but he's on vacation.
Yeah.
And I think Wentz is going to be playing. He's going to test Sunday morning and walk in there.
It's the
It'll be fine.
NFL has so had it with COVID. That's why we were talking about the Ian Book thing. It's like they literally changed the thing. It's like, all right, if you're asymptomatic, if you were vaccinated, you don't even have to test unless you have symptoms. That's how sick they are of this fucking horse shit. It's beautiful.
But that's how it should be.
That's how it's becoming. It's the common cold now.
By the way, he brought up I just said they're going to run the ball unless Carson Wentz plays. He brought up the C word.
Carson.
Go ahead, Tony.
It's gotten so bad for the Colts right now. For the quarterback situation, they had to call in Mike Pagel to be there.
That's good stuff.
Tennessee Tuxedo and
Mike, he's not fucking around.
No.
Yeah.
Art Schlichter.
That's why you guys sign up. That's why you guys sign up.
He's like a regular baboon. He sees the whole field.
Pete, by the way, who's your football team? Since Geno's a Chargers fan, who's yours?
Oh, the Seahawks. And
They won last week, right?
Oh, my
They were
God.
up 10 with 4 minutes left against
First
the Bears.
losing year in 10 years. I was telling him, I followed them since I was 12, and they sucked until they had the good run with Hasselback and then with Wilson. But I said back then, I had a lot more time for them to get better.
Jim Zorn. Well, you had Jim Zorn and you had
that's what got me started.
Largent.
Largent.
Hey, watch this, guys. Watch
Kenny
this.
Easley.
Watch this, guys. Pete, remember the NFC Championship game when Russell Wilson fumbled and they gave the ball to Colin Kaepernick at the 10? What did I tell you in that moment?
He said Colin Kaepernick stinks. They'll never be any good, and they're not going to score here.
Okay, and then when they threw that pick in the second Super Bowl game, when you said it yourself, they were 1.5 yards from beating in consecutive order Peyton Manning and Tom Brady. When they threw that pick, which was a terrible call, and what did I say? The
Seahawks will never recover.
You don't come back from that. Right. But Pete, at least they won last week, right? I turned it off with 5 minutes left. I'll stop doing it when it stops making me laugh. Let me try it again. Pete.
You're retarded. I'll never stop making you laugh. I can't. I mean,
he's jacked. All right, who'd we pick? The Colts.
we picked the Colts.
I got the Colts too. What do you guys do with all the money you win?
I get it.
I am not a good gambler. I'm not.
I don't gamble.
I don't know how you don't.
I'm going to go with the Colts too. And Gladwell, you wrap it up.
I'm taking the Raiders just because I took them last week and I crossed it out and took the Broncos and they crushed the Broncos. So I'm going Raiders this week.
Awesome. We got another 1:00 game. The Jacksonville Jaguars. 2-13, just killing it, going up against the Patriots in New England. 15.5. They're giving the fucking Jaguars. Is that right?
Yeah, they opened at 15 and going up. It's 15 and a half.
Well, what
This
do you
has
think,
Geno all over it.
Geno?
Dude, let me tell you, Patriots, whenever I pick them not to blow somebody out, because I think that Belichick just wants to win and get out of there. But I don't know if Robinson's back, their running back. They can't get out of their own way. They thought, oh my God, we'll get rid of Urban Meyer. He was the only guy scoring. With him in half his age, they're like, that'll fix it. It didn't. You're a terrible team. You're a poorly run organization. Fucking, what's his name? Trevor Lawrence took a giant step back, losing a guy that he thought was guiding him, and then he fucking betrayed him halfway through the season. Yeah, the fucking Jaguars are dead in the water, and that is a tragedy, but they are dead because they have no code. They have no fucking honor, okay? And I am taking the fucking Patriots to rape them in this. Talk me out of it.
I agree. The Patriots are going to.
Second time I used the word rape talking to someone and say, talk me out of it, but it wasn't a dude. Might have been a dude. I was
You
drunk.
couldn't convince me it wasn't a guy. You see the picture of him with his cat? I got some real questions now. But yeah, I would take the Patriots. So is that game in New England?
Yes.
Oh my God, they could please. They're gonna get off the plane. It's cold. Let's go. I don't even think they want to be there.
That's how you would do it.
That is how I would do it. That's how any normal person would do it. We're 3 and we
You
suck.
should
We
not.
could get a high draft pick. What are we even doing here?
Do you feel you're a good barometer for normal?
I am the barometer for normal.
Okay, just checking. Just checking.
Who's up?
Tony.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with New England in this one because Jacksonville's done. Jacksonville's fighting with Houston. Who are the other teams? Is
Lions.
Jacksonville's the worst team, right? Yeah, the Lions.
Lions.
Lions have a
2-12
tie
and
that
1.
keeps them from being the worst. The Jags have 2 wins. I think the Lions have 2, and I don't understand, but I know the Jags are in the top slot.
Yeah, they got
The Lions,
they got 2.
yeah,
They're
3
2-12 and 1 right now, and I'm gonna go New England in this one.
All right. Gladwell.
All right. I'm going to go with the Patriots because we're talking about the Jaguars and you guys mentioned the Lions. And Ken, what do we know about what's the difference between the Jaguars and the Lions?
The Lions always cover.
That's what I'm talking about. You're welcome for last week, by the way.
Yeah, I thanked you.
So I'm doing the Patriots.
I'm going with the Patriot Act. I think Belichick's got it. He's that young Mac Jones. He looks good. They're ready to rock. They got confidence. And Jacksonville sucks balls. 1 o'clock game. Tampa Bay Buccaneers versus the New York Jets in New York. And Tampa Bay's given up 13 in this game. Since I'm in Tampa Bay right now, I'm going to go Tampa Bay with 13 there. Even though they stunk it up, Tom Brady's pissed.
He's pissed. I'm taking Tampa Bay.
You love Zach Wilson. Talk me out of Tampa Bay.
I just think too many of the Patriots, too many of the Buccaneers are hurt. And they don't have any wide receivers. Their running backs hurt.
Antonio
The Jets
Brown.
usually show up.
How'd
play
they do
hard.
last week against Carolina in a divisional game?
I don't know how they do.
They raped them, and they couldn't talk them out of it either. I think it was third. It was one of my only winning picks. I went 2-2.
All right, I will go Tampa Bay.
Yeah.
I'm not
Hey,
going
don't
to
do-
bother.
Well, I'll drink to that, big brother.
What? You have to drive.
I'm driving at an Uber to the train station. I'll be fine.
So who we taking?
We're taking the Bucks.
For the record, I still think it's going to be. It's 14 points.
Yeah.
14.
13.
13.
Okay, well, yeah, we'll take the Bucks. They can beat them by 2 touchdowns.
They're gonna kill them. The Jets have no heart. Salah's a joke.
I think the Jets have heart.
Do you?
I do.
Okay. Name their running back right now.
Carter.
What?
Williams. They have 2 guys. Michael Carter. One's a running back. One's a defensive back.
Colored guy with the rape acquittal was the right answer.
Geno, is Mike White being the quarterback for the Jets this week? What's his middle
I'm not
name?
sure. What's Mike White's middle name?
I'm glad I'm.
No, tell him.
Not so?
Incredibly. Incredibly.
I want you to say.
Am I the only one watching these videos? I might as well be because my videos crack me up. Let me explain. He's so white that his middle name is Incredibly.
I get it.
And I said in the video he's going to have a terrible week. He had the best week of any quarterback in football that week because I am smart. Incredible.
What happened to Anthony Cumia last night?
Nothing.
Okay. Moving it along. We got another 1 o'clock game. Philadelphia Eagles versus
Wait a
the
minute.
Washington football. Oh,
I
sorry.
I didn't get to pick.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I didn't hear Gladwell or Tony.
Oh, I thought I'm sorry.
You want to go, Tony?
You go first.
All right. Well, normally with a spread like -13, I would take the Bucks, but if you listen to Kevin Brennan's podcast, you got to be a fucking idiot to try to travel from Tampa to New Jersey this time of year.
Yeah, let's give him a plug.
So who
Whose
knows?
podcast? I don't subscribe anymore.
So if these guys are trying to travel to New Jersey to play the Jets, they have to be fucking out of their mind. They're probably gonna get delayed flights. Who knows if their baggage is gonna get there? You know, but
JetBlue.
I'm still gonna take the Bucks though. I think
Evans is out with COVID. Godwin's out with an ACL.
There's no such thing as COVID. He'll test.
No, he's out. They said I read. Actually, I hope he plays. I'm in my Super Bowl. I made my Super
Pete,
Bowl.
are you vaccinated, Pete?
What's that?
Are you vaccinated?
No, I'm not. Is that okay? Am I allowed on the podcast?
I think this is the only podcast you're allowed on.
Ken, one of the jokes I did last night, and shout out to Stand Up New York, because we just laugh at the stupid proof of vaccination. I'm like, I'm not saying they don't give a shit about proof of vaccination, but I showed them a card today that had the word "ta-da" on it. And the owner is laughing harder than anyone. No one cares.
Yeah, I'm not. I didn't go through that. No. Are you guys vaccinated?
No one's vaccinated.
Oh.
No,
I don't want you guys
Ken
to say
is-
because you can't
Ken
get in
is
the
for his
clubs and
kid,
stuff.
right?
I
You
don't
got
want-
vax for your kid, right? Ken's
Yeah,
kid
my
got it
kid-
bad. They fucked this kid
Yeah,
over.
I did, Pete, because my kid has autism and a compromised immune system. And if you pay attention to Kevin Brennan, you know that I've hired him a few times to do my autism comedy show, paid him very well. Now on Twitter and on his podcast and text messages to me, he's making fun of my son and making fun of autism. Isn't that special, Pete?
Yeah,
Isn't that special?
Special. That means good to me.
How much?
I got
Ken.
no problem with people who get vaccinated. That's their business. Like, you know what I mean?
I don't want to.
If you got to do it, like, especially if you're older, get vaccinated. You know what I mean? But I'm not in a situation where I'm affected, so I didn't get it.
I don't want to talk out of school, but your daughter, Ken, she got fucked over by it. Am I wrong, or should I not be opening my mouth? I apologize.
No, listen, Geno, my daughter fell in that category where when she got it, it affected her heart. And it took a couple of months, more than a couple of months, for it to work through things. And but thankfully, she's doing better. But she fell into that category of reactions, and in their 20s, girls and guys in their 20s and stuff like that. But
Hey, Ken.
Your daughter, thank God, she gets along great with your girlfriend, right, Ken?
absolutely, yep, they do. See,
Hey,
I introduced them all, and they all get along fine. That's where I was smart. I introduced them all. They got used to each other.
Hey, Ken, let me ask you something. How many thousands of dollars have you given Kevin Brennan over the past 15 years?
Many thousands, and I'm not going to give you the total because I'll hang myself if I say it out loud. And it's nobody's business, but many.
Wow.
Many.
And he just burned it to the ground. Sounds like a user to me.
How about the times where he ran out on the family up north and he needed a place to stay, and I got him hooked up in Atlantic City? He can't dispute that because he mentioned it on his own podcast. So it's not like I'm
about leaving your wife. Maybe you should hang out with Ken. Oh, she can't hear me.
Ken's close. And we could golf at that nice golf course.
He's a fun guy. That's a fun guy, my buddy Ken.
Mm-hmm.
Good time.
You got to bring Nick. You got to bring Nick. Tony, who's the
I don't
kid?
know why Nick's not out.
What
here.
did Nick put on immediately for Christmas when I gave
We
it
got
to
to
him?
get through this, guys.
Wuhan, gave him the Wuhan lacrosse shirt. Oh, he loved it. My nephew.
No,
I'm not giving a lot of
Bucks.
I'm going Bucks too. No analysis. We got to keep rolling. We got all the picks in?
Yeah.
Yes.
All right. 7:00 game, Philadelphia Eagles versus the Washington football team. Philadelphia's getting -3. What the fuck happened at the end of that game with the Cowboys? And then the two guys were fighting. Did you guys see that?
It wasn't the end. It wasn't
Yeah,
the
the
end
red-
of the game. It was near the end of the first half. Chad, is where they were fighting, and of course, look, they circle the wagons, and it's just one of those deals where they say brothers have fights and all that kind of stuff. It was ugly. It was ugly. But it was an ugly game. Cowboys kicked their ass, and it was an ugly scene. But that happened at closer to the end of the first half.
Yeah.
How much money have you paid, Kevin?
You tickled my brother with that one, Chad. I love you.
Let me get my noose.
Wow, it's the first time it was quiet on this podcast. Jesus
No,
Christ.
Washington versus who?
the Eagles.
Every time I bet against Eagles, they fucking cover.
Yeah,
They annoy me.
I think that Ken should put all that money he paid to the other guy on the Eagles. I think they're going to roll the R team.
I think he should put all that money everybody put in for the football team that he hijacked, and he's going to take a percentage off.
I will
put it
say
on
this about the fight between the Redskins. He's right. They're brothers. And when brothers fight, and brothers, when they get mad, they don't pull punches unless a fag pays them $3,500 up front to do it. Jussie Smollett paid those two fucking brothers $3,500 to pull punches.
I got it.
Here, I'll do it again. Brothers,
I got it.
people call each other. I could say it in this neighborhood, right?
My neighbors didn't know they're getting 1/5 of a podcast tonight. So yeah, I might as well just say, like,
This guy.
I don't think any of
This guy.
I'm taking the Eagles.
Eagles?
I'm taking the Eagles.
Eagles.
Who did we take? Eagles? Yeah.
Oh, Eagles.
Fuck it.
Tony.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Eagles too. By the way,
Is it time to admit Sirianni might be a good head coach? The guy that was introduced with a stuttering fucking press conference? Or is he just getting lucky? I'm just asking. I have no idea.
I withhold judgment until the Dallas game.
He's definitely as good a coach as fucking my head coach, Brandon Staley, who they wanted to fucking crown a genius, and he coaches himself out of every fucking game.
I don't think anyone
I was
really
about to say that, Pete. Let's see if he gets in the playoffs. Let's see if they need that last game of the year against Dallas to get in, and let's see how they do.
And if Dallas needs it.
They
Dallas
don't.
is in.
They clinched the division yesterday. They clinched the division Monday night before the game started.
But they're still playing for a seed.
Right. But they clinched the division.
Yeah.
Is all I'm saying. I don't know what's going on in the NFC. I'm dumb.
I'm going Eagles.
Hopefully Dallas
Gladwell.
can spread their seed.
Eagles.
Eagles around the board. We got another 1 o'clock game. We got Kate Quigley's Los Angeles Rams versus Ryan Sickler's Baltimore Ravens. The Rams are given up -3.5, or they're given -3.
Is that in Baltimore?
Yes.
The Ravens are dysfunctional right now. I don't know what's going on
They
with
are.
them. At their last two games where they look, I get it. It's analytics. If you don't get it the first time, go for the second. You're bound to get it. They didn't either. They lost both. But in both of those games, they came back in garbage time. Both of those games, the fucking Packers and Steelers let them back in. So
I don't think you can come back in garbage time against the Rams because Aaron Donald and those guys, you got no time to throw.
yeah, I'm leaning Rams as well. Something's wrong with the Ravens.
As much as I'd love to see the Ravens beat the pee out of the Rams, I think it is going to be the Rams.
Road dogs. I mean, road home
Hey.
dogs. They're taking the road fave.
They're favorites on the road.
The Rams are laying 3.5 in Baltimore.
I still think they're going to win yet. I do.
Tony,
I'm going Rams on the road because Ravens. Now Lamar Jackson's still out, right?
Yes.
So
Yeah.
Lamar,
I don't know. See, if Lamar Jackson plays, I would take the Ravens, but
I
I think
wouldn't.
he's out.
I think he's out, but I don't know.
yeah, I think they had Vinny Testaverde quarterbacking for him last week. So, but
Ernest Blinder's the emergency quarterback.
that's right. Eric Rett.
Rat gets him wet.
The Ravens are dysfunctional because teams finally knew how to adjust to Lamar Jackson. He wasn't able to make the plays that he was able to during his MVP season. And even though Huntley has actually done a better job, he was in COVID last week. Huntley locks in on two guys. He locks in on Mark Andrews. He locks in on Hollywood Brown. If you could double cover Mark Andrews, he's garbage at that point. So I'm going to go Rams on the road here.
Ooh, I need Andrews in my Super Bowl. He's been fucking money.
I think they both lock in on Mark Andrews. I think Lamar Jackson does too.
As the owner
yeah.
of Mark Andrews in my fantasy league, the numbers would appear to validate that. They back that up.
Chad,
you
did you
got?
see Ricky Rubio's out for the year? Torn ACL.
Are you got to be shitting me?
Yep. Yeah.
Oh, man. He was like one of the – actually, Jim Florentine and his son went to that game in they were in New Orleans. They went and watched it. And they
Oh,
saw
really?
the-
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, that sucks because he was a great backup point guard.
who's Gladwell have? Gladwell and
All right.
Chad.
Well, the Ravens have let me down the last couple of times I took them, so I don't know if I can trust them. And for some reason, I think the Rams. Kate Quigley seems to be a good luck charm, so I'm gonna take the Rams.
She's a good luck charm, all right. I'm going the Rams too. Oh, that was funny. 405 game, we got Denver Broncos. Brant Tolber's Denver Broncos versus Geno Bisconte's Los Angeles Chargers.
I will be at this game in LA.
Oh, look at that. So if you're
That
there,
means Denver got the win.
So take Denver. They're winless. They're 0-2 this year when I'm at fucking SoFi. What's the line again?
-6.5.
How are they laying 6.5 when they flat out fucking lost to Denver?
You would have to ask Vegas.
And there's no home let me tell you, there's no home field in fucking that stadium. No home field.
He claims everybody goes there for vacation to watch their football team.
Everyone go. You will go. You will take a fucking weekend trip to LA to see your fucking Denver Broncos. And Broncos fans are the worst. Oh, I'm gonna get into a fight at this fucking game. Oh,
Take the knives I gave.
I will. I'll take the Charger knives. I don't have to hide it from Aunt Alex anymore. But look, I'm taking the fucking. I take the Chargers if they win. It's closer than I want it to be, and I'm taking Denver. Pete. Chargers win, don't cover. Please prove me wrong, LA.
Are the Chargers in the playoff hunt?
They are. They're on the outside looking in. Last I checked.
It's only a touchdown at the end, and your boy Staley, he always goes for it. They have a chance, but the Geno factor tends to lean towards Denver, and I hate Denver. I hate their fans.
Denver fans, from my experience, Denver fans will show up in fucking San Francisco and ask people why they're wearing Niners jerseys. They're obtuse. How can you be so obtuse?
I think Mosca needs to move on from your complaining.
Okay, go on, Ken. He's wearing his in hot water headband backwards.
I got inside out because I didn't know if you were coming on.
Where the fuck am I gonna go, Ken? Look at this, my man.
You just had a
birthday. Fuck around.
You had a birthday roast yesterday, so we didn't know how today was going to go.
I didn't get drunk till I went on stage. I made sure of that. Then I got hammered so quickly I had to get out of there, and I didn't want to get hungover because I had to come bother Pete today. So it worked out perfectly. I really nailed it.
He only got here an hour later than normal.
And you weren't even here yet.
I was working.
I hate that shit.
They got the Bisconte farm behind them.
There it is. So we all caught up on these picks here. What do we got?
We took the I think you guys all have to pick, but I'm taking the Chargers to win, Broncos to cover.
Yeah, I'm taking Denver. Same deal. Chargers will win, but they won't cover.
Tony.
I'm going to go Chargers because I'm looking here at the standings. It seems like Indianapolis and New England will probably be in the playoffs here, but you have that one last spot for the wild card. Miami right now is in that spot. You have the Chargers, you have Vegas, you have Baltimore, Pittsburgh, and Cleveland and Denver, right? All in that area. And I think the Chargers need it. So I think they're going to cover in this game. I'm picking them.
Chargers had a 70% chance of making the playoffs going into a game against the 3-win Texans. Now they have a 1-3.
There you go.
That's always like getting beat by Chicago at home.
But thank God that didn't happen. Oh, wait.
Gladwell.
I took the Chargers before Tony said that, which almost swayed me, but I'm going to stick with the Chargers.
Yeah, Tony seems like he knew what he was saying. I'm going to go with that, too.
I pretend. I do well. I do well at pretend.
Another 405 game, Houston Texans versus Dan Soder's San Francisco 49ers, -12.5 in San Fran. I'm taking a knee for the national anthem on this one.
I don't know what that means.
Either do I.
Yeah, does that mean you're taking the Niners? What a piece of shit, Kaepernick. I was right from Kaepernick from day one. Tell him, Pete. Just say yes.
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 What do you mean you were right?
There's so few things he's right about. He was right to Kaepernick.
That he's a disingenuous, terrible NFL player. And I'll say this. I am tired of people thinking I don't like Colin Kaepernick. I think the guy's great. He's got everyone buying his horse shit. I hate the white people that try and shove him down my throat. Your wife's not listening. Trying to shove him down my throat. And thanks, I called her a whore. Ken gets it. My point is, if I'm sitting with Colin Kaepernick right now, me and him I guarantee we'd be getting drunk, laughing at how stupid people are. He'd be like, these motherfuckers. Ugh. But I'm telling you, he's a disingenuous piece of shit. But I'll tell you who is a real fucking deal. Debo Samuel. Debo is African, for my parents are illiterate. And that's going in the video. Can I put that in the video? That's going.
I don't think anybody's going to complain.
I think the Niners. I think the Niners cover the big spread. I do. I don't know why, but I do.
Because the Texans suck.
Did they? They won last week.
Well, they played a shitty team.
Yeah, they did.
I would go with the Niners to cover that too, as well.
Gladwell.
I'm going with Pete and the 49ers.
I'm going with Pete and the 49ers too, which is my favorite rockabilly band.
I love when they say Pete. It's the best.
We got another 425 game.
The Texans, by the way, Ken.
Get Tony's pick. What's
Oh,
Tony's
I'm
pick?
going Texans.
Why are we
It's a
still
little
drinking?
baby. It's a little doo-doo.
This is a hard podcast to direct. I apologize. We got 425 Arizona Cardinals. It's like doing a podcast with just Kevin Brennan.
What did Tony take?
I'm picking Houston. I think San Francisco will win, but it's just too many points for me.
You got nowhere to go.
Arizona Cardinals versus Ken Mosca's Dallas Cowboys. What a win last week. What a win. And
Wow.
you lost that game. Even though
I texted Mosca on that block punt where who was the guy? He just literally he walks into the end zone, the ball falls into his hands. I'm like, that is the softest touchdown I've ever seen. He just went, oh, thanks. I guess I get 60.
The blocked punt. Corey
Yeah.
Clement on the blocked punt. I'm taking Dallas. They're at home. Zach plays better at home. I'm taking Dallas.
-5.5. Just to let you
Yeah.
guys know. Tony.
I'm going to go Dallas as well. I don't know what's happening with Arizona, but people are expecting them to be like a 15-2 team this year, and they've just blown it the last few weeks, not playing well. I don't know if they're just kind of just coasting until the playoffs, but I mean, they're getting in jeopardy of not even making the playoffs and losing the division here. So I'm going Dallas here.
Gladwell.
I think the Seahawks are the only team in the NFC West that doesn't make the playoffs. But I agree, the Cardinals they're falling. They're not the way you want to be, and I think Dallas's defense will eat up Kyler Murray and that pinhead coach they have.
There's something my gut is telling me. And last week I'm mad because I saw the line and I took the fucking Cardinals to cover against the Colts, and I'm like, because I thought it was so obvious the Colts were going to cover, and I did the old Vegas is trying to trick me. And I said, it's so obvious the Colts are going to cover, and I took the Cards. And I think that's due to happen. So I like the Cards, but I'm going to go with Pete Dallas. But I might take the Cards in my spread pool. But I'm going to go with Pete Dallas.
And in my defense, I'm not an alcoholic like Geno.
Side bets?
That last shot of VO might have me spinning. But,
Oh, yeah, that gave me a little kick, too.
Yeah, I do think the Cardinals are going in the wrong direction.
I'm telling you.
Gladwell.
That really fucking I put a little fall.
I don't care what the spread is in this game. Out of respect for my man Ken Mosca, who I don't know if I made it clear yesterday or today is a stand-up guy and a class act. I just want to drive that fact home. I'm going to take the Cowboys, and also I had the Chargers. Ken,
Thank you.
Your fucking yard, Pete.
You just said it.
I'm going Cowboys too.
Are we on?
Yeah.
Vulgar.
People are either
somebody-
gonna fucking love this show or hate it. There's no in between.
Apparently he didn't have his Gatorade bottle and dumped the piss
Yeah.
in my lawn. So he just did it
Everybody.
on natural.
Sue everybody.
That's where Pete grows the tomatoes.
Oh my God!
This is every birthday for me gets better and better.
You can blame it on the dog. They're the biggest spot there.
Birds do it all the time. Oh, that's your close.
That's my.
I'm taking the Cowboys. We got another 425 game. We got the Carolina Panthers going up against the New Orleans Saints in New Orleans. Mark Norman Saints -7. The Saints.
Does anyone know who's starting for the Saints at QB? Anyone? Because I don't.
Archie Manning,
This guy he doesn't miss. This
Aaron
kid don't
Brooks.
miss. I have no idea.
Bear.
Bobby Hebert.
Bobby Hebert.
I'm
taking Carolina. I think the Saints will win, but won't cover. But I'm taking Carolina.
Is it Ian
What's
Book?
the line again? Sorry.
It's 7.
I think Rule's coaching for his job, and I would take Carolina too. I think Carolina's going to win. I think the Saints, after the beating they took on Monday night, they're folding up the tents and looking for next year. I don't think what's his name, Peyton, who's their coach?
Sean Payton.
Sean Payton.
I don't think he can rally the troops behind the stiff that he has at quarterback.
To quote one of the oldest Geno's Picks jokes ever, in a divisional game, everything goes out the window like a baby at the Clapton residence.
Oh, too soon.
So I'm gonna too soon. So boy, I got a buzz from that last one, huh?
That's what. Isn't that why Eric Clapton has a Mac, because he's had bad experience with Windows?
Somebody's been writing.
Hey, cut that. Hey,
I'm a big fan.
cut
big
that part
fan.
out. Cut that part out.
Edit that part out. Okay, that's a Kevin Brennan bust. Hey,
Oh,
edit
okay.
that
I was
out.
gonna say they're gonna keep you pissing on my lawn, but not that good job.
That's gonna be the moneymaker, Pete. The moneymaker. Yeah, whatever. But so yeah, definitely, we're definitely Carolina over here. And I find myself rooting for Cam Newton. I'm happy for the guy.
And I think Rule's a good coach, and he might be the next coach of the Seahawks.
Wow, there you go.
Did you hear the
Tony.
one about the blind guy?
I'm sure this time I heard
This nun is taking a shower, and there's a knock at the door, and she goes, "Who's there?" And he goes, "Blind man." So she goes, "Oh, it's a blind man." So she goes to the door,
Oh yeah, I got
and
it.
the guy goes, "Nice tits, sister. Where do you want these blinds?"
I heard.
Let me
it.
explain. He wasn't blind. He was selling blinds.
I got it.
Okay.
I'm going Carolina, Ken.
I'll take the Panthers, Chad.
You gotta be kidding me.
Top money, top dollar.
I'm going
For the
Panthers too,
record,
Ken.
he said we're better than the Sklar brothers,
We're-
and yet I am in my backyard with you taking a piss and not making money.
The good
That's
news
okay.
is
You can't put a
That's
price
okay.
on it.
Gladwell.
That's
we
okay.
got
My kids don't need to go to college.
Look, I talked to Nick. He's gonna open for me.
we got
Danielle,
3 games left.
Who did Gladwell take?
Panthers.
You really thought this would be quick? Come on.
Gladwell, who'd you got?
Panthers.
Panthers. All right, we got another 425 game. We got Dave Landau's Detroit Lions versus Pete Bisconte's Seattle Seahawks in Seattle -7. The Bisconte brothers lead it off.
Pete, that's all you. Talk to me, Goose.
I would.
Hey, go. I won't interrupt you.
Yes, you
Hey,
will. Yes, you will. He'll keep it.
Hey,
I would
hey,
like to think
hey,
Seattle's playing for nothing right now. But so's Detroit. That's a hard game. Seattle. Seattle might win, but they won't cover. It's 7.5.
7.
7 and just straight up 7.
Yeah, no half for you
This
this time, Pete.
This one could be a stone cold push. Seattle might win by a touchdown late, but again, they haven't shown me anything. So I would take Detroit.
Let me ask you this. Seriously, I'm probably going to take the lines in my video. I don't think Seattle knows who they are anymore. The Chargers don't know who they are. And I don't think it's one thing to not know who you are yet with a new coach, but the Seahawks, you said it. They show up. They're like, who are we now? They don't know themselves. I like the Lions in this one.
Yeah, and as a negative person, I just think Seattle losing gets the Jets a better and better pick. Whereas if Seattle, if Seattle had kept their pick, I would easily pick them to win this game. But the fact that it can only hurt them and make them look worse, I can't say I don't pick Detroit.
Detroit with the points.
Tony,
Is it in Detroit?
No, it's in Seattle.
it's in Seattle.
Southern Alaska, as you say, big brother.
Not me. Jimmy Johnson said that, but yeah, I still think
So does
Detroit
Kelly.
keeps it close. Yeah.
I'm gonna go Detroit in this one. Again, I agree with Pete. I don't think they'll win. It might be a field goal game. I mean, these are two teams that they're just somebody's gonna win this game, and Seattle's just they have to retool that team. I don't know what the future. I don't know what's going on with Russell Wilson. And I know as a guy in Cleveland, everybody's talking about Russell Wilson. Oh, you got to bring him here. I think people are thinking that if Russell Wilson leaves Seattle, that he's still going to be the Russell Wilson he was in 2012, 2013. It's not happening.
I guess it. You're
the best.
I have seen every game of Russell Wilson's pro career. Plus, I actually followed him when he was at Wisconsin, and he's right. He's not Russell Wilson of 4 years ago, 3 years ago. Something's going on, and
You've been saying that all season.
Yeah, and I just think Russell Wilson should just come right out and say, "Look, I've been hit enough. I have enough other business interests."
His wife says that all the time.
Okay, there you go.
She's a whore.
He's the producer of a movie now. He's got other stuff.
Pete, maybe
I just think he should fold it up and say, "Look, I've been hit enough. I want
Ken,
to
how lucky am I? Am I not? I'm blessed,
you go.
Ken. I'm
Yeah.
blessed.
Pete, maybe that if Russell Wilson's not in the Seahawks anymore, they'll finally give Matt Flynn that opportunity.
This guy's great. He knows every backup quarterback
He's
that's
the
ever played.
fucking best.
That's why I'm
Gladwell.
really hoping that if
Gladwell,
Seattle
jump
decides
in
to
here.
go in a different way, they make the trade with the Jets, and then they're good to go. They're not that far away, but like you said, because they don't know what the hell they're doing.
Well,
That's
that's
the problem.
if I can jump in to defend Russell Wilson, because it's amazing how the people I used to love annoy me now. Like he broke my heart. You know that. Like that's
Mine
a guy
too.
that obviously. But am I wrong? Correct me if I'm wrong, because I echo what you when they signed Matt Flynn, Tony, to all that money, and they drafted Wilson. Well, with all that money, he's like, I'm not the starter. He didn't care. He fucking was such a classy guy. He's like, he went right to the children's hospital, started a fund. He was like setting up a future there. And now he's like dancing for the fucking man in the roll up your sleeves special. And you know, he fucking gets called out by fucking by Sherman a couple of years ago. And now it's all fucking coming apart. And it's like he's losing that clubhouse, I think.
I could go on and on, but I think they want to get on with the cast.
Oh, please go.
Well, I think you know where I stand,
Gladwell
Ken.
and Chad. Gladwell, go ahead.
You know where I stand, Ken.
I know. I wrote
Lions
it down.
always
I wrote
cover.
it down already when I wrote mine down.
I think they win outright this time.
Oh. Wow, he ate it.
Also,
I don't know.
I'm going with Gladwell too. I'm going with the Lions because he seems to be pretty confident about that one. We go to another 8:20 game. We got Nick Swartzen's Minnesota Vikings versus the Green Bay Packers in Lambeau Field, -6.5. I'm going to say Minnesota wins.
Oh.
You didn't just pick Minnesota to win. You picked Kirk Cousins to win in prime time. You
Yes.
are DIM retarded. I'm taking the Packers. Talk me out of it, Pete.
I can't because Aaron Rodgers, I've come a full 180 on.
Yep, me too.
I hated him after the Hail Mary.
And Chris Collinsworth, I love him too now. You
'cause
stayed him.
Aaron cried about the Hail Mary forever. By the way, in that Super Bowl Seattle lost, they had beat Peyton Manning in the previous Super Bowl. They beat Aaron to get to the next Super Bowl, and they run
Aaron.
beating Tom Brady, and they fucking blew. So at any rate, I love what Aaron's been doing. I think Green Bay kills Minnesota. I don't even think it's close. That's just, I mean, you know.
Thank you,
I
Jake
agree.
Wellen.
Yes,
What?
Jake Wells.
Hey, I don't mean.
think they're gonna go down to O'Shaughnessy's office and get whooped.
Oh, it's so.
Tony.
I'm gonna go with Minnesota, even though I think Green Bay will win. I'm gonna go with 2-minute Tommy Kramer here and Ahmad Rashad in the Minnesota Vikings.
Got
You
him
mean
all.
Bobby Moore? You mean
Bobby, yes,
Moore.
of course, Bobby Moore.
I got breaking news, and I know this is going to derail the
I know what you're going to
podcast.
say.
Uh-oh.
Ghislaine Maxwell, longtime partner
Yep.
of Jeffrey Epstein, found guilty on 5 of 6 charges in sex trafficking trial. Conspiracy theory. Up your Patreon.
So
Gladwell.
is she gonna name names to reduce the sentence?
I am so far. See, this is where COVID killed me. I had nothing to do, and I sat there and went down these rabbit holes for a year.
You know what no one's paying attention to? That mean SVU, that SUV that ran over children in fucking Waukesha. No one's paying attention to that.
I'm glad to hear they found her guilty, though. The news sites I listen to tell me things are about to start happening.
Yeah, here we go. Here we
Well,
go.
he said conspiracy theory.
I'll take the
Conspiracy
Packers.
theory was we have vaccine mandates a year.
By the
ago.
way, apparently the whole word conspiracy theory was invented by the CIA after the Kennedy assassination. I read that somewhere. Again, you have to research everything 15 different ways.
I read
to see
that.
if it's
Well,
true.
I think it was Brazzers.org. I read that on.
I've never even heard of
There's
that.
nothing else to do in Vineland but read, right?
Brazzers.org. Is that a porn site?
Of course it is.
Oh my God.
Gladwell,
Packers.
who you taking?
Packers.
We got all the picks in because we got one more game.
Yep.
Okay, Monday Night Football. We got Tony Mazur's Cleveland Browns versus Anthony Jeselnik's Pittsburgh Steelers. Cleveland's getting -3 in Heinz Field. Tony, you take off the charge.
Well, the Browns are still in the hunt, and I don't think they should be. Baker's had a terrible season. The Browns have actually extremely underachieved. And remember this one. Even though the Browns are -3, they're on the road. They're at Pittsburgh, and this could be Ben Roethlisberger's last game as a Steeler. So take that into consideration when you're making your pick, that Ben's going to want to beat the team that he's beat constantly through almost 20 years in his career. And I think he does it one more time. I don't know if he's going to retire, if he's going to play for some random team, or if, who knows, maybe the Seahawks bring Roethlisberger in next year. So it could be one of those random teams, but I think this is going to be his last game at Heinz Field, his last game as a Steeler. He's going to want to go out on top, and he's going to beat the Browns this Monday night.
And I'll take it a step further. Not only is he going to beat the Browns, but since he is technically I think the most winningest quarterback ever in the history of First Energy Stadium, Cleveland Brown Stadium, right?
Well, until Baker, but yes, but he was before.
And I have a feeling next year he will be the Cleveland Browns starting quarterback. Ben
Oh, shit.
Roethlisberger. He's coming. He plays well here, but I'm going with the Steelers with the point spread because the Browns has just been pissing me off, and I can't defend Baker anymore. Geno, what's your take on Baker?
I'd like someone to tell me, Peter, since day one that I've said he's a barely above average quarterback. And when you draft a barely above average quarterback with your number one overall pick to be your franchise quarterback, then he will be under a microscope his whole career and will always look awful. Right? Wasn't that me? And here's the beauty of it. It's almost like over the past couple of weeks when he gets injured and you have to replace him with what's his name? Don't help me, Case Keenum, who's basically him. You realize, wow, we really should just run the ball to this fly-by-night guy. What's his name? Nick fucking Chubb. It's a run-first offense, and the more fucking Mayfield throws stupid picks, well, it was a pass interference. Yeah, but if he didn't miss Njoku twice on the play before, you wouldn't have them. He's a terrible, mediocre quarterback. The Browns know it, and hold on to where this goes. They know to run the ball. They know to pound it right up the fucking gut. Your wife is me. They fucking are learning, and this is a team that is going to fucking just smash mouth, beat, and cover the fucking Steelers on Monday night.
Ken, do you just know to add a half hour to this podcast whenever Gene's on?
A half hour of fun.
I would
Pete
just
sees
say,
me
he
getting my
hasn't said
paperwork
that
all put away.
he's been saying about him forever.
Yeah.
His commercials are great.
Yep.
For the insurance company.
But I mean,
I just think Cleveland could have had Saquon Barkley and him. But again, they have Chubb and Kamara. And I appreciate
not Kamara, you mean Hunt. I know
Hunt,
what you meant.
yeah.
We know what you meant.
And while I appreciate all the Roethlisberger stuff, I sort of think Cleveland's defense may show up and they know enough to just run the ball. I think they keep it close. And I think Cleveland maybe wins this at the end. I don't know if I've convinced Gene.
Well, do they win
Cleveland,
if they maybe win it, do they cover? They're laying three or 3.5.
And it's 3.
3.
I thought Pittsburgh was favored.
No.
No, there's no way they cover. So I
All
go
right.
Pittsburgh.
I'm picking Cleveland in the video, but we'll take Pittsburgh.
Oh, if you're picking Cleveland in the video, you got to stay consistent. I can't stand the intellectual dishonesty. We're going with Cleveland.
I was completely honest with what I was going to do.
Cleveland.
Okay, Cleveland.
And we'll see the dirty picture in the video.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I got a good Cleveland one.
Ken,
Well,
what do you got?
Gladwell.
I'm going with Cleveland.
My man.
I think Mayfield's going to be a Hall of Fame quarterback just like Andy Reid. So
You got Cleveland on your shoulders, buddy. They love you now just because you said that.
Right. That got you where you wanted
Ken,
to
did you
go.
get your pick in?
Yeah, I took Pittsburgh.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, that concludes week 17 of the NFL and the Rackham football program. This was a delight to have the Bisconte brothers on. I mean, Jesus.
Thanks, big brother.
Thanks for having me, guys.
Thanks for doing it.
Geno, before we
Can I
go,
say
what are your
something?
thoughts on COVID?
Thank you so much. It's like the best birthday ever. I say that every year, but this was. Thank you, guys.
Yeah, this is better than the other one where I had to vomit. This is good.
Yeah, last year you were buying. We finished the bottle of VO. He had the sweats, and I said to Chris, "I'm like, I'm sorry, I killed your husband. He'll be fine."
I'll have to send Peter some JW Blue, Gene.
Yeah. Oh, he brought JW Blue up. We drank. Oh, fucking Mosca's the man.
Class act. I don't know if that's been stated enough.
Gladwell, it's a pleasure to fucking
Nice
meet
to
you in
meet you
person,
guys.
man.
Nice to meet you guys too.
What is in your background?
Gino, you and
What's
Gladwell are both filthy Italians.
Wait a minute,
So's
so
my
am I.
brother. We're Sicilian.
That's
I
Yes.
think I would take that Chesterfield.
All right, on
Gene, I'll
behalf,
talk to you soon.
on behalf of Ace Grid on Twitter. Oh yeah, get your plugs in. What do you got plugged, Tony? You got your podcast?
Yeah, my podcast, for all free this week on Patreon at patreon.com/Tony Mazer, and free every Wednesday, my podcast, Check Your Brain.
You have a Patreon?
I sure do. It's no Gum
Dude,
Fridays.
I'll sub, honest to God. I didn't know.
Oh, yeah, I rant constantly. I rant so much on that Patreon, as Ken can attest to, that it'll make Geno Bisconte sound like a communist.
That tells me nothing. Tells me nothing.
Oh my God.
I'm Geno Bisconte, in hot water 4 days a week with Aaron Berg. My Patreon is Gum Fridays. GenoBisconte.com for all my dates. And March 5th, we'll find a way to get you there, Ken. Either March 5th, I'm at the Savoy without a doubt, and maybe we'll golf all day, and we'll, drag Pete and the nephew.
Yeah, just let me know. You tell Nick I want to see him.
No, he cannot wait to hang.
By the
Am I
way,
wrong?
March 4th and 5th, I think I'm with Aaron Berg at the Funny Stop.
Really?
Yep.
Oh, that's fucking great. You
He's
have a
making
teacher.
making another appearance.
Hey, Geno, when are you going to be back at the Funny Stop?
I think I'm allowed there, right, Tony? They're not really banning me, are they?
No, but Pete, he actually said it the other day. It's like that he was saying to Kate Quigley. He's like, that Geno Bisconte, he's a racist. He's a
I
racist.
did this joke where I said if I were racist, I'm like, I would actually be vaccinated so I could go inside where there's mandates and 70% of black people would have to stay outside. No, I'm not racist. I'm outside with them and there's plenty of room because they live in trees, right? And the waitress ran out crying.
You're off your mind.
What? Well, then tell Ken to stop laughing and I won't
The
do it
joke
anymore.
was very funny. I'm not saying that. I can't believe somebody runs out of a comedy show crying.
I know. And I'm the jerk. And she runs fast because she wasn't carrying a TV set. I'm not going to say anything. What?
Don't they have like an extra muscle in their leg? Is that
According
racist?
to Jimmy DeGree.
Not Will McGaley, Ken. Come on.
El Campanis.
I should put this one out for free.
I love this guy.
What Al
Did
Campana
they
say?
take the bathroom?
They didn't have the necessities.
What?
Al Campana said they did not have the necessities to be a Major League Baseball manager.
So funny. Oh,
Gladwell, what do you got to plug? You got anything to plug?
I will be in Newark, New Jersey next Christmas Eve.
Oh,
Standing there like a fucking jerk. You know where my bags are.
I'll try and meet you out there, buddy.
All
I got
right.
time.
He'll be with Robert Dangerfield.
He gets a little respect. I went to my doctor. What's his name? Joyce. Dumbest show in the world.
I know.
And you know what I get at the end every month, Pete? Tell him.
A check with 3 zeros.
No,
Or
a check with a comma.
There's a comma.
A
Jesus.
comma.
I'm sorry. I blew the bit.
You gotta work.
Still better than the Sklar brothers, though, right?
Much better.
yeah.
Now we wait for Hollywood to come to us, big brother.
Yeah. And be sure to catch the after show with the Bisconte brothers where they do a wrap-up show of this show.
That's right.
All right, guys. We will see you soon. Happy New Year's to everyone, okay?
Happy New Year, guys.
right.
Thank you, guys.
Love you guys. Thanks so much.
See
All
you
right, guys.
guys. Take care.
We'll see you next week. Sign up to the Patriots.